Hello everyone. In this video about Autodesk Fusion 360, we are going to look at 5 different commands that are under insert, and they are inserting a canvas or a picture to use for reversing a part that you only have a picture from, inserting decals, and then inserting Mac Master car components, inserting a manufacturer part, and inserting a mesh. Okay, so these are very useful when basically you don't have the part yourself, you don't own it, right? You want to get it from the manufacturer or a mesh file that somebody designed and uploaded on a website, or you want to insert a picture as a decal or a picture of some, I don't know, some part, several pictures, and use those to base your design on those pictures. So here, let's start with inserting a canvas, a picture. And here you can see that I inserted the logo of the Apple company and then just basically reversed it and created a part out of that. So let's go ahead and do that one. So here we are going to go for a new design, and I'm going to start on this XY plane. I'm gonna start a sketch. Right, so here we go, and then I'm gonna go to insert and canvas, and I'm gonna grab a picture from my local computer, and here I bring the picture and put it on this face, and then that's this picture, and you can make it bigger, can scale it up in XY or in the XY direction, both, right? And then you can rotate it if you want by giving it an angle. You can move it off the origin. You can have it renderable. You can make it display true. You can change the opacity of it. You can flip it horizontal and vertical. And once you are satisfied with it, now you can use your sketch tools to draw over that and try to reverse the parts, basically create the CAD model based on that. And here you see that the canvas is added and the sketch is created before the canvas. So if I go back to the sketch and I want to open this sketch and draw over that canvas, it's not gonna work, right? Look here, if I right click on the sketch and say edit the sketch, you see I cannot see the picture. Why? Because the picture was added after creating the sketch. I can only see the stuff that are created before, to the left of that entity. So if I want to use that picture, I have to bring it first, then create the sketch, or I have to move this sketch here to the left of the canvas, to the left of the sketch. Can I reorder this order of operation? Yes. So here I grab this picture and move it to the left, and there we go. So this is now like you first brought the picture, the canvas, and then started the sketch. Now if I go to the sketch, I should be able to see the picture. There we go. And I should be able to recreate the profile using the sketch tool. So I can go and let's say use a 3-point arc, or I can go to a spline, right? So let's go to a spline and pick the fit point spline tool, and let's say start here and keep going. Let me do it again. I started with some offset. Here we go. Right, and just keep doing it. Anytime you reach to a sharp point, keep in mind that the splines are a smooth curve, so they are not meant to go through a sharp transition. So when you reach here, double click and finish that spline, and then start a new one. Or in this case, you might say that's probably a piece of a 3-point arc. So I pick a 3-point arc, and then I click here, and maybe I click, let's say there, right? Then I try to match it with a 3-point arc like that. And then, as I said, you keep repeating this. So let me see. And the more control points you click on, the more local control you're going to have over the sketch. So try to click relatively close to each other and not further away, because that will not give you a great control over the local sketch. So here you see I'm using a bunch of points. So here is that profile added, and then I do this basically leaf. Okay, let me turn it off. And one thing that might be useful when you're doing this kind of reversing, since these control points that you click on are not necessarily at the grid points, maybe it's a good idea to go ahead and turn off snap to grid so you can click wherever you want, not on the grid points. And so I personally prefer to, as I said, turn this command off, turn this option off when I'm reversing something with a spline. Okay, so let's say here, right, and then another one again here, and something like that. You see, this is not a perfect 3-point arc. So once I get my sketch like this, now if you want, you can right click on this canvas and you can suppress it so it's out of the way. So that's your sketch. And now you can easily you can easily extrude it, and these are two disjoint ones. So when you extrude them, you're going to get two separate bodies. Okay, so here we go. You see that if you look under bodies, there is body 1 and body 2, and then of course you can go to appearance and you can apply some different colors for it, right? So you can go under paint, and then let's say here apply some green to this one, and then go back and maybe go under wood this time, and under wood apply some wood to this guy if it's downloaded. Okay, and if it's not downloaded first, so you can you can apply it to the material. Okay, there we go. And so this is your reverse part. So this is using using canvas. Now the next thing is the decal, and decal is basically a sketch that you can put over any surface, whether flat or round. So let's say here, for instance, I have a, I don't know, a sphere, right? So let's go ahead and put a sphere here, right? And let me put the snap to the point back, snap to the grid point. And let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And then here you can put any picture on it, right? So you can make it like Las Vegas sphere or anything. As long as you have a picture, you can insert a decal on it, right? So let's say here I go and again I pick a picture, let's say my own picture. I don't want to put anybody else's picture on it and basically make them upset. So provide some angle. Now in this case you can also grab this guy, right, and you can rotate it however you want and give it any scale. So let's say 1.5 and 1.5. Okay, and there we go. You see, I put my own picture on the curved surface, so that is a decal. Okay, now the other two things under insert, one of them is McMaster-Carr. If you used it, this is a very, very big store for lots of different components, especially hardware. And so if you look here, lots of parts, they have CAD models. So if you want a specific part that you want to use in your project and you want to buy it from this company, you should be able to also download the CAD file for it and use it in your CAD model. So you don't need to redo all of those CAD modelings. It saves you a lot of time. So you can just click here and then go to insert McMaster-Carr component. It directly takes you to the website. And then let's say, for instance, I want this bolt. So click on the bolt and then pick the type of the bolt that you want. Let's say, for instance, this one. And then find the size and the category that you want. And it should be able to get you what you want, a CAD file for it. Okay, so let's see if we move forward with one of them. You see here, add to the order and everything, right? These different sizes. And now here you can see download. So if I click on the download, of course, the default format is SolidWorks, 3D SolidWorks. So that's not what you want in this case. And you have to either get a mesh file or a step file. And I do recommend the step files. okay, because they contain a lot more information than a mesh file. So I picked that, and now if I say download, it should be bringing it for me here, and you see it's right there. And you can use this move or copy component and move the part, right? So here, this is the part that is added. So that's this one, right? And if I grab this, let's see if I can get this part out. There we go. And a little bit like that. Done. Okay. So you do not need to spend a lot of time and CAD model this bolt with the Allen um, key hole on the top. You can just simply go ahead and download it from McMaster-Carr, and for many other manufacturers you have a similar thing. So you can go here and say insert a manufacturer part. So here there are a bunch of parts and a bunch of vendors that Autodesk Fusion can connect to and can get the parts from them. So let's say here can go to ABB, ACE, all sorts of things. Let's say advanced automation, right? Agro, and there are lots of manufacturers. Let's say, for instance, I tried this one, the shock absorbers of ACE. And then let's say you pick one here, heavy duty model. Let's say this one, for instance. And here you see to Autodesk Fusion. So let's see if it allows me to download. For that, you need to, of course, sign in with Google. Okay, so I guess I downloaded it. Let's go and see. So there we go, here. And it brought it to a separate file, but clearly, look, there we go. And of course, modeling something like this is going to get a lot of time out of you, so you just downloaded it. Very powerful. Okay, so we got that here. This morning I downloaded this part. And finally, you can insert a mesh file as well if you want to. So you can download a mesh file, and a mesh file can come from lots of different uh, vendors, or not necessarily vendors. It could be many of these free websites, something like Thingiverse or grabcad.com. Lots of these websites, they have, let's see if I can move this guy. So now, of course, you have different bodies here. So if you move one of them, you might have to move the other ones exactly as well. But let's see here. And you see this part is so huge that it's much bigger than the rest of the things that I made. Okay, so let's see if I do F6. Yeah, it is just kind of covering all of them. Okay, so let's go back here and maybe bring a mesh file here, something that I did over there. So here I go and say insert, and then I want to bring a mesh STL file or anything. And it could be from my computer. In this case, I downloaded it, this mesh file, and I bring it. And you can change the units before bringing it in. Is it in millimeters or inches or anything? You can move it to the ground. You can center it. There are lots of things that you can do. And once you okay that, now the part should be inserted. And let's see. So you see there are bodies, there are decals, sketches. There is this guy, Hegs Knot. There is this one. And there should be a mesh file here that we just added. So what we need is to go under bodies, and these are these different bodies that we made or brought in, and here is the mesh file. And let me just move it out so we can see it. And it's a small one, and if you want to make it bigger, you can always scale it. There we go. So this is a mesh file clearly, and you see the color of that is different than the rest of the colors. because it's not a solid object, it is just a surface or mesh file. So these were 5 of the important options that you have. Of course, you can bring other formats like SVG or DXF as well from different manufacturers, but these 5 were kind of quite a bit important, and I wanted to explain them in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.